Hi, and welcome to Making All the Plans. I'm Connie, and if we haven't met before, I'm a busy mom of 2 active kids, and both my husband and I have full-time careers. My goal is to share with you how I stay on top of all life throws at me in one planner so that you might be able to do the same. This is the third and final step of the HB90 planning series for quarter 4 of 2024. If you missed the first 2 videos, I will link them down below. But the first video described the HB90 method and went into some detail on reflection and review of the previous quarter, vision planning, and the boot camp kickoff. The second video discussed goal setting and projects, and of course, went into detail on the big game changer of this system, time. In the third video, we will discuss how the time estimation I completed in my previous video impacts my plans, and then we'll break out projects into tasks on the Kanban board. Let's start by looking at the time estimation in the last video. For October, I estimated that in week 1, I would have 28 hours of time to spend on my Making All the Plans goals, not counting administrative work. So, estimating 8 hours per video, that leaves me with 3 videos and 4 extra hours remaining. Those 4 extra remaining hours really should be spent on Instagram work. In week 2, I only have 14 hours of time to spend on Making All the Plans tasks. That leaves me with about 2 videos and 2 extra hours remaining. However, for this particular week, I will try to still publish 3 videos, and that means that Instagram would fall to the back burner. So really, I have to balance, and that's my word for this quarter is balance. I'm going to have to balance what time I can spend on which task. So then in week 3, I have 29 hours available, so that gives me 3 videos and 4 extra hours to spend on Instagram. And then on week 4, it looks like I'm going to have 42 hours. In week 5, 41 hours, which means that I should be able to produce 5 videos. Now, whether or not I decide to put all 5 of those out that particular week, or if I start scheduling things ahead, then that is going to be something that, again, I will have to balance. When you look to November, although the first week looks promising, then there are a few weeks of zeros. So at some point in November, I will probably be taking a trip to Florida. And then the other week that I have zeroed out is Thanksgiving week. And that's because I'm thinking that my son and I might go do some college visits. He will be off of the career technical school that entire week, so he would only be missing the 3 classes he has at the high school. And although I have Christmas decorating as one of my projects, I also have it written in on my November calendar because that is normally when we get our Christmas decorating done. My December calendar does not take into account those soccer tournaments or any holiday parties since we haven't quite planned that far out in advance. So hopefully this doesn't confuse you too much, but I do always plan 5 videos per week, and I put out those that are most important to the time that we're in currently, and then I try to put in 1 or more each week that are not necessarily time dependent, but are more planner specific. So I do plan for 5 videos a week, even if I only show time to spend on 2 or 3, and that way if I do have more time to put out more content, I can. And that idea is already there. One change that I have made for this quarter is setting aside admin time for Making All the Plans on Sunday evening. That way I can include things like printing things out, content planning, cutting stickers, planning upcoming videos, working on printables, professional development for things like my Instagram class that I want to take, or any of the back end work that needs done. So I feel like that kept getting pushed to the back burner, and now that Sunday evening block is now reserved for that admin work. So I do have a roll of washi tape, my super sticky 2x2 Post-it notes, a permanent pen, an erasable pen, and then my purple erasable highlighter, this stencil with the boxes from Happy Planner, and the notebook that I use for my HB90 is this Leuchtturm. Okay, so let's get our tasks written out. First, I wanted to mention that I do have all of my tasks written down in some way, either in Notion or on a piece of paper, so that as I write out the tasks, they can get written in reverse chronological order and put on my Kanban board so the first task is at the top of the pile. I also don't mind handwriting my post-it notes. I have been looking into a good solution for stamping boxes, but writing things out really does help me think through my plan. However, if you'd rather put them on a piece of paper and send them through your printer or some other method, then I suggest you do what works for you. But as I mentioned, I will be making post-it notes for producing 5 videos per week. But any of those like off scheduled videos that don't have to be put out on a certain date, I just won't write the title of it in. So that way, if things have to move around, I don't have to erase as much. But when I move it over to my planner for the week, that's when I will start writing in the titles of those videos. So for any video that goes on my Kanban board, my boxes are for scripting, videoing, editing, scheduling, and then watching and liking each video. And again, I like to do these in reverse chronological order. The pink post-it notes are those videos that I won't necessarily write a title in for, but those are the ones that aren't necessarily dependent on a date. So I'll start with October 29th, and then we'll just continue to work backwards. I have decided to put all of my subtasks on one post-it, which is why I have boxes on the post-it for the subtasks. But if you want each task on a separate post-it note, then you, of course, need to do what works best for you. And through the magic of editing, I will just jump to almost being completed with my tasks for my videos. As you can see, I've kind of spread them out. I've offset them a little bit so that it's easier to tell what's what. And really, it just is what works for you. I am keeping this in my HB90 notebook, and I will move the tasks over to my planner each week that I want to work on, but that way, anywhere that I am, I can just get to work on the tasks that I need to complete that particular week. So I really do like this mobile option. I'm not always at my desk. I'm not always at home. I'm not always in my home office. So this mobile option is really important to me, and it works well for my needs at this stage of my life. But let's grab another color of Post-it and start writing out admin tasks. I'm going to start with the Instagram class that I would like to try to complete before the first of the year. It's just been lingering, and I think I've been working on it for, I don't know, maybe since January, so it just needs to get done. And maybe if I have a chunk of time here or there, I will work on this. But all of these yellow post-it notes, those are things that I plan on doing during those darker pink task blocks. There are 3 task blocks spread throughout the week, so 3 half-hour blocks. And then there's one 4 task block grouping on Sunday, so there's one 2-hour session all at once. So if I have a bigger project that I want to work on for admin tasks, I have a little bit of chunked time. The next set of post-it notes is going to be for comments and admin that I do throughout the week. So I like to do this on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday as a minimum. I also do it other times throughout the week if I have time, but I definitely want to reserve those task blocks on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And then the purple post-its will be for Instagram. I have mentioned that I'm going to try to post at least twice a week, and then I will write the day of the week underneath those blocks where I'm actually posting, but I wouldn't mind posting 4 times a week, so we'll see how far I get this quarter. So I'm also going to write a post-it note out for Instagram facelift, and I'm going to put 3 task blocks on it. At least that's what I'm kind of thinking they'll represent, and I'm hoping to spend 1 task block a quarter on the Instagram facelift. And then I'll also drop in a few monthly admin tasks and slide those into my task list as well. And those include content calendars and monthly tracking and analytics, all of those fun extra tasks that need to be done each month. The orange tasks are tasks that I haven't really thought to break up before. So I'm going to cut these in half just because they're kind of large for I don't know. I just felt like cutting them in half. They're different than all the other tasks on this task list, so I wanted to treat them a little differently. There are 5 tasks that I want to try to complete this quarter. One is to set up a bank account, one is to print stickers, one is to change the ending YouTube screen on my videos, set up an email list, and make my Christmas printables. But I felt like those were all just a little bit different than the other tasks that were on this list. So I did make them different and stand out a little bit more than those other tasks. As I plan out my personal tasks, I also do those monthly, and those are just based around my goals for the quarter. Although I feel like they're kind of more leaning towards a tracker, so I'm not really sure if this is how this is going to stay. But for this month, I'm going to give it a shot so that all of my tasks are being treated in the same way. So, the post-it notes that I'm writing out for each week, including packing my lunch, and hopefully I will pack my lunch every day, meal prep, which only happens once per week, taking my supplements, which I'm trying to ease back into that, closing my rings every day, and weighing in once a week and taking my measurements once a month. But this is really feeling more like a tracker than post-it notes or tasks. So we'll see how it goes. I like to have everything in one sort of system so I'm not looking all over the place. We'll just have to see how it goes. We'll try it out this month, and if I need to tweak it for next month, I will go ahead and do that. But for now, all the post-its are now made. For my home tasks, I do break those out by quarter because I can't necessarily guess what the weather is going to be like. And things like paint touch ups for the house, I can't really guess which weekend will be nice for me to be able to do that. So I write out all my tasks and then I kind of look at the weather and what all is going on for the week, and then I decide which tasks will be fit into that week. So the orange post-it notes are those bigger projects that I've already thought through how to break them into smaller bite-sized pieces. So for example, replacing the back door, I need to get estimates, I need to pick a contractor, I need to pick a door, and then I need to schedule. I did leave a little bit of space in case there was another step that I forgot, but I will just arrange these so that I can see what the big task is, and then I can move those over to my weekly planner as necessary. For replacing the coach lights out front, I just need to pick the lights, and I'm pretty sure my husband and I can replace them. And then I decided that I would cut these post-its in half so that I could see all of the tasks just looking at the sheet, and I would be able to pick those tasks easier based upon the given conditions of the week. So I'm going to write out clean shed, exterior paint touch-ups, replace the dryer vent, replace the furnace filter, and wash the windows and the screens. But I like how I can see all those. That is one of the downfalls of having a smaller notebook for all of this, but I feel like this is working better, cutting the post-it notes down even smaller. So I did leave Christmas decor on a big post-it note, and then I need to replace the shrubs. And given the note that I just got from our township that brush pickup, the last day is tomorrow, it looks like we will not be replacing the shrubs until the spring, which that's fine. I will just push this to the spring, and then we will definitely have to clean up the flower beds at the end of the season. But I'm feeling good about this list given the time that I have allotted for it earlier in this process. So thanks for joining me today in this last video of my Q4 planning using the HB90 method. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. I love to talk about HB90 and how to tweak it to make it work best for you. I will have links in the description to all of Sarah's information as well as to my HB90 playlist, and I hope that everyone has a productive quarter, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!